Good morning. This is Ricky Analog here, and welcome to STN Stock Talk with Ricky and Goose. Let's get the formalities out of the way. StockTraders.net. By now, you know we're a leading online trading community. We got free trading rooms. We also have a premium room that includes live HD screen sharing every morning during the most important part of the day, the open. Come join us today. If you have questions, feel free to DM any of the moderators. We are all more than eager to assist you. Also, let's get the disclaimer done. We remind you, nothing we mentioned this morning is a solicitation to trade, but simply being discussed for informational purposes. Please read the full disclaimer. It's below in the description section, guys. We know your time is valuable, so we keep these broadcasts succinct as possible. Our purpose is not to provide you with 20 ideas and overwhelm you, but we're just trying to go over a few that we see, explain what we're looking at, and we're always looking for quality over quantity. So Goose is out today. I'm flying solo. Let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right into it. First thing on my list, and I'm pretty sure the first thing everyone is waiting for me to talk about, CHEK. This is the first Ricky tip. Of course, that stands for turds in play. And the first thing I want to note about CHEK is that this is not a trade for most people, at least on the short side. I highly advise staying out of this, especially if you have a habit of being on the front side of things. If you can't identify the backside correctly, then this is the type of stock that could absolutely blow your account up. The float is around 800,000 shares. That's correct, guys. 800,000. It's tiny. So if you didn't know why this thing was moving the way it is, now you know. Let's get right into some of the fundamentals of it. 7 million cash end of year. They burn about 750K a month. They already have their latest S1 filed, in which they'll be more than likely tripling the float through the issuance of ordinary common and warrants. And they also have a nice little provision in there that allows anyone that would inherently own more than 4.99% of the OS by participating in this offering to choose to buy pre-funded warrants and the same Series C warrants as the other option. Convenient, right? So if I put my tinfoil hat on, it almost sounds like they know who will be buying this offering, and they already know that they needed to include this provision so that the said entity could in fact participate. But I'm not here to play guessing games, so let's stick to what we know. They've got warrants at $25.50, only 112K of them, but that is still almost 14% of the current float. Also worth noting, though, that that's just going to be a minor speed bump if the volume continues the way it has for the past 2 days. They also have warrants at 15, but they're very likely they could have exercised all of those yesterday and nobody would have even noticed. So let's just look at this thing from a technical level, guys. Make sure, I don't know why I got 5 years up there. This is the move that the last 2 days has put in. You can see it is getting to the point where it's a substantial move, but there's no reason to think this can't go higher first. 25 might be in the cards. Let's see what happens if it's a 20 magnet today. But like I said, guys, this is highly advisable just to stay away from it. With a float that low, there's easier plays. You don't want to get jammed up in this. But I do think it's just worth mentioning because I know everybody is going to be watching this today. But there are ways to identify the backside. If you don't know how to do it, I consistently talk about it at StockTraders.net. I'm always trying to keep our traders safe and preserve their capital. It's one of our main goals over there. Is we're not trying to offer you guys the flashy lifestyle, the fast cars, the bling bling. Nope. Trying to keep you guys safe out there and give you the key to longevity. Next thing on my list, guys, is CREE. This is they are an earnings winner. You can see that they have shown the ability to have some range on days where they beat on earnings. So I'm looking for this thing to break out of this base that it's built. You can see there is a wick on the 1 day or whatever. I'm not going to consider that going to be too much resistance. I'm actually looking right around the 44 level as going to be the breakout. And if you possibly are the type that wants to play the descending trend line here, you could play it on the break of this. Either way, right now we're getting a nice healthy pullback pre-market. Want to see if it can open up right around on the 5-minute 20. Give us a good opening setup, something to put some risk against, defined risk. We all know that that is the key. And see if we can get a long out of this with 45 probably being the first target and then lock and trail. Next thing on the list, guys, is TRVG, Trivago. They beat on the revs very, very slightly. Might as well just have been in line. But their revs are still down 3% year over year, which is terrible. They had a net loss for the quarter, and the previous year, same quarter, they were profitable. And the guidance they issued was flat, so it's not the brightest outlook for them. And you can see they're losing a very key level on this very nice 6-month-long base that they've built. And if you know me, guys, the longer the base, the better, as far as getting a sustained move when you finally break it. So what I'm going to be looking for, guys, is any push back up into this low 630s to stuff and then be getting short. I think it might be a 5 magnet today. If we get the 5, I'll be locking some in there, and I'm going to see how much further it can go with the remaining position. I also just saw in the filings, they have about 30 million Class A shares in the OS, but they have just filed an F3, which is a foreign entity's equivalent of the S3. So they filed a $500 million shelf for themselves, and they also filed for 110.7 million shares for resale by selling shareholders. But wait a second. I thought there were only 30 million shares. Oh, that's because the selling shareholders are first converting their Class B common into Class A, and then they can sell them into the market. Clever. Not something I really expected to find in the filings of a company like Trivago, but then again, filings never cease to amaze me. That's it for me today, guys. I just noticed OGEN, OGEN. It popped onto my scanner. It's definitely a ticker that belongs on the Ricky tip, but I've covered it plenty in Stock Talk before. So if you don't know how to play OGEN, search in Stock Traders Net YouTube channel for the ticker symbol OGEN, and you should find that episode. If I trade it today, I'll walk the chat through it. So if you're not already a part of the community, there's no better time to come check us out. As always, plan your trade your plan, stay safe. Let's go out there and crush it. Peace.